In this video, I ask, how many war games is too many? Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. So after the video I did on why do I buy so many games that I never play, which you can see here, it got me thinking. I have all of these games and yet I see a new one nearly every day that piques my interest. In the last few months alone, I've looked at Blood and Plunder, Carnivale, Dracula's America, Kings of War, Warpath, Malifaux, Batman, and Wild West Exodus, just to name but a few. There's so much variety out there that cover all manner of different genres, game mechanics and aesthetics, and that's when I began to wonder, is the miniatures games market oversaturated? How many games is too many games? Most people will play 1 or 2 game systems, and then there's folks, like me, who buy into a lot of starter sets but then never really spend any further as they just don't get the chance to play everything. Starter sets are usually sold at a much lower margin for games companies on the basis of it being a gateway into the game, and then they hope to hook you with the expanding army. The Kings of War 2-player starter box, for example, costs less than 50% of the price of the individual components, and so margins must be relatively low, I assume. Yes, there's some packaging savings, but it's still a good deal. Now, as I touched on in another previous video, we're all part of a very niche hobby. So the total number of people playing these games are much smaller than, say, console games. So how does such a small community, in relative terms, support so many different game systems? Getting into miniature games takes time, commitment and dedication. We need to build models, paint miniatures, learn rules, put time aside to play, and that can swallow up huge chunks of our free time. One of my friends said recently that this hobby consumes his life. When he's not actually painting or playing, he's thinking about what he wants to buy and when he's not going to play. Now, this might not be typical to everyone, but it does illustrate just how all-encompassing our hobby can be. Now, I don't have any numbers to support my theory, but from research, I don't believe we're in a growing market from a participation point of view. As the age profile gets older and we recruit less younger players into the hobby, the number of actual players would seem to be declining. Couple that with an increase in the overall number of games, and it would seem that all each company can really hope for is a share of the pot of the available hobby dollars. One of the reasons for this current boom in miniatures games is a swing towards skirmish games and a move away from mass army games over the last 5 years or so. Companies saw that games like Warhammer Fantasy were in decline, and as the age profile of your average gamer grows, they tend to have more money but less free time. This means they have cash to spend but less actual time to paint and play, and so we see the rise of low model count skirmish games. Games like Malifaux and Infinity have done really well in this market and have grown to have 2nd and 3rd edition rules along with a competitive scene to back it up. Games like Frostgrave, The Walking Dead, Blood Bowl and Guild Ball show that there is still a market for small model count games. The growth of games like Kings of War, Age of Sigmar and more recently Warhammer 40,000 still shows that there's a market for the big army scale games. However, the pie of Wargamers is only so big, and however you slice it up, there's only so much to go round. Another thing that's eaten into that pie is the rise of miniature board games, such as Zombicide for example. This has also captured the cash-rich, time-poor 30 to 50 something crowd. Another reason for the explosion in the number of games available is Kickstarter. This has allowed small startup companies such as Steamforged Games of Guild Ball fame, to take something from concept to launch. And it's also allowed bigger companies like Mantic Games to grow faster than previously would have been possible without some serious investors. The advent of digital sculpting and 3D printing has meant development time and startup costs are probably as low as they've ever been. In all of this, it's the big guys who get squeezed. Games Workshop will have seen an overall decline in sales from the heyday of the 90s, but prop up their profits with more efficient manufacturing costs and higher selling prices. Rumours were around not so long ago that Privateer Press had taken a big hit in its share with War Machine IP. Whilst there'll always be winners and losers in every competitive market, one thing is for sure is that we as wargamers are living in a golden age of gaming and we have more choice than ever before. I started this video with the question, how many games is too many? However, it would seem that in the current climate, it's more a case of too many games is still not enough. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more and click that bell button too to make sure that you don't miss any of my daily uploads and you're notified when they go live. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.